In the words of Ken Livingstone, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Bit of a Zoom issue there. So, answer today's question: the heritage of the club, I think, is something we should definitely cherish and cling on to. That's something that never goes away, never fades with time. You know, we are an historic club, founder leaders of Football League, all that stuff, all these firsts that we should be rightly proud of. But in terms of like on pitch things, in terms of honours, there's this perception that we've got our 9 league titles spread out over a century, and that is great. We should never forget that. But it it doesn't mean that we are one of these clubs that are expected to be fighting first, second, third place every single season. It's not. Like, we should embrace the gradual progress, and God forbid if we do go down, I think it might be a bit of a. I mean, there is a risk we could do a Leeds or do a Sunderland, or like one that's popped to mind is like Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday are the definition of an historic club. Everyone, even people outside of the UK, have heard of Sheffield Wednesday, even though they might not even be able to tell you what league they're in right now. Those are the clubs we don't want to be if we do, God forbid, go down. But if we do manage to recover ourselves from that, I think it could be something of a rebirth, and we could get a bit of perspective about it and then start actually enjoying the gradual progress, instead of saying, oh, we only finished 10th place this season when last season we were 14th. We shouldn't be happy with that. We should be first. And I know I'm disagreeing with the big man Neville Southall in saying that. And you shouldn't have an open top bus tour for finishing 10th. But if you finish 14th or 16th the season before, you should be able to say, fair play, that's improvement. Let's do it again next season. Let's keep improving. Let's keep improving. Instead of saying every single season that we don't win a trophy or every single season we don't win a league is a failure. Because if you see football that way, you're always going to be miserable. And you may as well just do something else.
Yeah, I completely agree, because there are only a handful of clubs who win everything. That's just how it's always been. I mean, there was sort of a run of FA Cups, I think, between the 70s and 80s where you did get quite a few different teams in the finals, but it was still a lot of the time the same clubs winning the trophies, and it has always been like that. And as you say, Matt, we've not been like that for a while, and I think we do need to reset our expectations for the club. As you say, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious and wanting to get there.
Yeah, that's the difference. Expectation and ambition are different things.
For the record, I've got no interest in being in the Champions League. Give me that sweet conference, Europa Conference football, and some crazy aways any day. But yeah, I think it could be, and this, a lot of people will disagree, but I think it's just finding your place in the pecking order of things. I think we've completely missed any chance we had of becoming a super club now. We had that chance in 2016, and that went. Even then, it was probably stacked against us with FFP anyway, but we completely blew it. That chance is completely gone for me now, because we're not an attractive proposition. If someone does,
so Les, can I just jump in quickly?
Yeah.
I think that chance has gone for everyone. I don't think Newcastle are going to do that.
It's a shout, actually. Yeah,
I think FFP does it for them. Like, their commercial revenues right now, even with the grotty sleeve sponsor deal from the mate of the owner, even then it's the same as ours, and it's you're getting on for 70, 80, 100 million pounds less than the big six. No one's going to be able to bridge that gap with these regulations. No one.
How on earth have Spurs squeaked into that, by the way? How have they ended up as one of those elite clubs?
He spoke to Bill, didn't he? Because Bill recommends that anyone comes to see him if they want to know how to run a football club. Do you know the point to be making there? Because that was really interesting, that chat you're both having then. And it fits into a lot of things that people have said to me. In fact, that are quite scary. A lot, in my opinion, have said this, that they think us going down will actually ultimately be better than what's happening now. And I almost get to a certain extent that when people say, oh, be great to go to all these different away games and all that, but you'd soon get sick of that, wouldn't you? You'd soon get to a point where Luton away, and going down to Coventry, whose stadium will look identical to ours if we're in the Championship.
Blackpool.
What? Blackpool. Yeah,
Blackpool,
Blackpool, nice up the road, and yeah, it's actually, they've done it up quite well, even though it's tiny and whatnot. and I don't mind Mick McCarthy. He's just got the job there, hasn't he? I like him.
Yeah.
Oh
Like being
no,
able to
sorry,
get-
Dave. Make no mistake, Dave. I won't be in the stadium. I'll be doing like that Birmingham lad. I'll be on the traumatizer. Actually, no, sorry. The traumatizer is there now. They nicked it from Southport, didn't they? The Pepsi Max. I'll be on the Pepsi Max when we're 4-0 down.
Oh, the traumatizing when Southport was great times. Anyway, I'd hate for
Traumatizer,
us
that's
to go.
Everton.
It's what?
That's Everton.
The
Yeah.
trauma, that is absolutely Everton.
The
That is.
traumatizers Everton, yeah. got sent to a better fair, but still fucked up, and no one goes on it anymore. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like you guys think, but I couldn't go down and enjoy Everton and think, oh, do you know what, we've got, like, because if you think back to people start, throwing evidence of clubs that have gone down, saying, oh, look what happened with Villa there. Villa are sound now. Villa nearly come back up. They got to a playoff. The club was knackered in terms of its ownership that time, wasn't it?
Mm.
And then it was quite fortunate they were able to get new owners who brought them back up via playoff. I don't think I could go through that, me.
No. And for anyone who's sort of like glamorizing the Championship, just watch those Friday night Middlesbrough v Derby matches.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like the
We'll
most
have, like-
soul-destroying event.
We'll have like
Absolutely.
mad Tuesday night games and drop it like, nah. I
Yeah.
already complain about
Yeah.
the Friday night games here and the 12:30 stupid kickoffs on like New Year's Day. Like, can you imagine the Championship? No, thank
Do
you.
you know what I buzz off, right? We all live within 8 miles at most of the ground. And like, Laura, I'm like you, I just can't be arsed getting there some days. And you've got people who travel hundreds and hundreds,
I know. Do you know what?
thousands of miles to go.
For shame. For shame.
I have to respect them because, like, as you say, it's literally so easy for us to get to the ground and that. But some days you wake up and you just think,
Maybe
why?
it's just a familiarity breeds contempt thing. Maybe it's that.
I never used to feel like that though, and it's only sort of been in recent years where I've been like, yeah, the prospect of just sitting in the pub with all of you lot so much better.
It is.
No, I was just going to say that's the thing that gets me more excited than actually Everton itself. So, like, in my mind, getting up and going the game or watching it home if we're away most of the time, I start thinking, do you know what? I can't wait for this game to be over. I'm not really asked what happens in it. I just want to go and see my mates in the Den because I love that place. I mean, whichever it used initially, that pushed us going there that way, and obviously we have the relationship with the Blue Room with it now when Matt sorts it out. Absolute godsend that. I love it there. When I caught up after the Southampton game, and Matt got there first, didn't you? We were sat there having a little quiet one before everyone else turned up. And I was like, this is great. This I absolutely love. Just even talking about Everton just felt better doing it there.
Doesn't it? It's
So
like
that appeals to me more than anything else at the moment.
yeah, it's like a group therapy session, and once we've got it all off our chests, it's all okay. I'm
that
sorry,
downstairs bit is absolutely lovely. I love that downstairs bit.
great. I'm sorry I didn't come in. I just simply did not have the energy, and I had a family meal.
Ooh.
Nah,
Yeah,
we have to do that as well.
I had a family meal, and I was like, that was the last place I wanted to go. This family meal, because a couple of them are cop-outs and that, and obviously stuff was brought up, and I just
All right, they lost as well.
I know.
Well, did we not say that, Matt? We were like, you can't even enjoy it. They've just been battered by Frank because we were that shit.
I don't subscribe to that. I still enjoy it as much as ever. I can separate the two and still laugh at them no matter how shit we are.
Do you know what, Les? I stumbled into the Denby on Tuesday, was it? Just to pop in for a couple after work and see the staff and that. I completely forgot that the Reds were playing. And I'm stood there at the bar with Franny, who's a Red, the barman, watching it. And I said, this is what Everton's done to me. I don't care about the outcome of this match.
Yeah.
Was that the Wolves game, was it? The cup game?
I was watching it thinking, I'm just enjoying a match here. I don't actually care who wins or loses. Maybe there was something subconscious thinking, if Liverpool get through, they could get another replay, which would be incredibly funny because it means they wouldn't be able to fit in all the fixtures because they had 2 postponements. But other than that, I was just watching it thinking, I don't really care anymore.
It is bad times when you're feeling a bit ambivalent towards the Reds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
what are you saying there? Sorry.
Go on.
No, I was going to jump back to something, Dave, so you go on.
I was just going to say, I like to try and find the silver lining. Look, fair enough, if they do what they have been doing recent years and battering top sides and going on to win or be close to winning trophies and competing and all that, then obviously there's nothing nice to take from that. But that game against Wolves the other day, I was like, you know what? I actually want them to get through in the FA Cup, because if I was a Liverpool fan, I don't even know why we're talking about this, but if I wanted our team to progress, they've gone into mid-table now, haven't they? I'd actually think it'd be really frustrating having the FA Cup games, because they've got Madrid coming up, haven't they? And again, I'll stop talking about them almost immediately, but they've got Madrid coming up.
They carried on anyway.
They've got Chelsea tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? I want them to have more games, and so it fucks them up.
And so that's the end of the Liverpool Football Club review segment of. No, but seriously, jumping back to what you're saying about championship games and that, Stu, the landlord at the Denby, was chatting to me last week about, like, because he's a Bolton fan, he's from Bolton, and he said, if you go down, get ready for loads of Friday night games, like Laura said.
Oh God, yeah.
Because when Newcastle went down, Friday night game is the Sky Sports TV game, and he said when they went down, it was like 2 weeks out of 3. It was a Friday night.
That's literally what our lives would be, and it'd be awful. I'd hate it.
Because we'll be the big TV draw.
But having said that, Friday night games gets out of the way before the weekend can begin, if you can have your weekend without having to necessarily deal with Everton.
Yeah, but what if we lose?
Well, if we lose,
Shocking
we
weekend.
go to the Denby, we have a pint and we forget about it.
Yeah, I think I do.
Where's
think
you that? What day would you start doing the mailbag, mate? Has that happened?
Oh God, yeah. Maybe just
That's
that.
a night. That's a whole broadcasted nightmare, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mailbag
God.
becomes a shit bag.
The manager, whoever it'll be by then, will be doing his press conference on fucking Wednesday.
Still be
Call
Lampard.
it shite bag. I'd call it shite bag, not shit bag. Shite bag. Shite bag sounds better.
No, just make every mailbag an L bag.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, isn't it?
We can do it anyway. I've been drinking both the 2 weeks in a row I've been on it now.
Surefire way to improve the atmosphere at Everton. Just get the underbay again. That's all. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
100%.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was like a really good conversation on why we need to reset
I
expectations.
can't even remember what the questions
Quite
were.
serious for mailbag, but I think it's absolutely spot on. I don't think going down to the Championship is the best place to do it, because it just makes everything a lot harder then.
It'll
But
be
yeah.
a silver lining. It's not a reason to do it, but it'll be a silver lining, I think.
Yeah, I think we need to just sort of look at where we need this club to go and how we're gonna get there, and just
So,
take a step back.
Is there going to be another 120-point plan if we go down?
Oh God, maybe there will be. Maybe
Is it-
maybe a 240-point plan by then.
Yeah.
He comes in for a meeting on the Monday, guys. We've got a great idea.
I'm hoping it'll be a 45 and it won't be points. It'll just be a P.
We've had an existential cry from help from young Fauci, who said, one question, lads, why?
Why what?
Don't know.
Our turn.
Question, why?
Why
Any-
Our
lie?
turn.
It could be. Interpret it
Cycle of
any way you like.
football. It's a
What's that?
cycle of football. It's our turn. Villa, Sunderland, Leeds. It's the cycle of football. It's our turn.
We can't have a nice cycle, can we?
No.
Man United had a nice 26-year cycle there. We can't have.
No. It's just football. Yeah. There's many reasons why it happened and why it shouldn't have happened, but we've watched it happen to other clubs. We've reveled in it with other clubs. It's our turn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fair enough. Any advance on why, Dave?
I don't know. I think it's. I mean, me and Laura spoke about this. I think in recent weeks, it's the way in which it's punishment for something else that you've done maybe in a previous life. And I'm actually being serious about this though, because when it gets to a stage with this football club, and we've all had them, but thinking back to some of the worst times, which we're probably going through right now, but when we've lost derbies, I've taken that so personally. I've gone home and just sat on my own in the dark, and people take it too seriously. And I've always been told by family, friends, loads of people have said to me, you know what, you take this too seriously. But it's so hard. I think we mentioned this, didn't we? Laura, where it's so hard to deter from it that you literally can't move away from you caring about that club. And the really strange thing for me is I haven't felt as excited or as happy or the euphoria that you get from supporting a club. I haven't got that as high in comparison to as low Everton have made me feel. They've made me feel, if you get what I mean. So us getting to the final of the FA Cup in 2009 and going to Wembley, that to me is probably, sadly, the best day I've felt, the best, or the semi-final, when we won the semi-final against United, in sort of, I was going to say like recent times, but it's not really recent, is it? Because it's that long ago now. It's what, 14 years ago. But when that happened, I remember having a pint after that and thinking, Everton doesn't get better than this. If they go on and win the trophy, obviously that's the only thing that's going to make it any better. But as a Blue, feeling like I do now about my team, it doesn't get better than this. But in reference to how high that was, and this probably sounds stupid, in terms of how high that felt.
I get what you mean.
Yeah,
I get what you
mean as well.
If you were to compare that, or say someone said to you, what's the worst you've ever felt? And there was some sort of league table, I'd have many, many more points about as shit as this club's made me feel in comparison to how good it's made me feel. So, sorry for the long answer here, Les, but the way it's made me feel, if I said to somebody else, the way football means to me, the way Everton means to me, has made me feel like this, they'd never want to experience that in their lives. But that's what this football club's done to me.
The thing is that the good bits are really, really fleeting. They're over in no time. The bad bits are pretty relentless. And
if you were to name your 5 most recent best experience with Everton, it's really hard to think of them. It's really, really hard.
Just like random aways and things like that. It's nothing.
And none of them for me have like necessarily related to the football. It's about like who I've been with and like the
exactly this right now is, and I said this again, Laura, when we were on.
Yeah.
This right now, meeting you guys, I don't want to sound cheesy, but knowing you guys, meeting you guys, loving all you guys, that's as high as it's got. And I'm not saying that as if like, oh, I don't want it to be this high. But honestly, that football club is a pile of shite that needs to go.
I'd take losing you lot to win a title. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, that drop is all like a stone.
I was about to say something nice then, Laura, but I might not.
Go on, Matt.
You know what?
Pull us back down.
I have lots of nice things to say, but I'm not going to say it on air to loads of people. I'll tell you in person.
Go on, Matt. Bring us back before the last question.
I say what Dave just said there at the end. That's what football is about for me.
Correct.
I would rather watch my team finish 17th on the last day with me mates than watch us win a title on my own.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We should ask that question and do a poll on it. That is an excellent question.
No, because you wouldn't like the answer, Dave.
Yeah, you get a load of bellends saying, fuck off, I don't want us to win the league.
I don't care if we're owned by someone who chops people's heads off. I just want us to win trophies.
Matt,
we're the armband, lad. We're the armband.
Plus, what game was it when I ran up to you post-match and like tried to jump on you, but then I just absolutely smacked the floor by Dixie Dean?
Palace, I imagine.
I don't think that was it Palace? I don't think that was Palace.
Was it Newcastle?
It would have been Palace.
No, it wasn't Newcastle.
I didn't see the win at Newcastle. I left on the red card.
It wasn't Newcastle because I was with Pete.
I thought they were trying to send us down, so I just said I couldn't watch this, so I left before the goal.
Matt was waiting outside the stadium with some cable ties, weren't you, mate? What's his name again?
What's Palace?
Lou
McCackney.
There he is.
Is he out yet?
I don't think so. No, I think he's still on remand for the next offence or something like that. He's basically been held without conviction for the best part of what now we're looking at 8 months.
Wow, what a fella!
Yeah,
hero.
Kept us up.
I think it was Palace, Laura. I think it must have been Palace.
It must have been. Yeah, absolutely smacked the deck, but worth it.
On the subject of what a fella, last one goes to Liam. Who do you reckon? What do you reckon Frank Lampard's favourite album is? I'll get your answers in, and I've done a bit of a research on this.
I've done some research as well, Les.
Oh, you did? Look at this.
Have we got the same answer?
show.
Have we got the same answers?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave and Matt, you answer first. What do you reckon?
Mate, I'm not great on music. I know that's a horrible answer. You probably never ask me on again now, Les, because I know you love your music. I don't know, mate.
All right, don't sweat it. We've got lots of answers.
Clubland or something. I don't know. Was he in? Do you reckon he went to the? Do you reckon he was happy going to like clubs and that when he was younger?
Nah, I don't reckon he was.
Do you not reckon?
Nah, I reckon he was.
Some boy though. He maybe might have enjoyed that.
Sitting at home listening to Beethoven with his family.
Matt, what do you reckon?
Well, I can tell you what it's not.
Go on.
Based on his substitutions, it's not all changed by cast.
Oh,
the round of applause for that, mate. Honestly,
what an album that is, by the way.
Very good.
What an answer to a question that was.
That was good.
Laura, what have you got?
So, according to the Daily Mail, his favourite song is Pompeii by Bastille. So, therefore, his favourite album must be their Bad Blood album.
That's one of the answers I had.
One of the answers, see, I didn't delve quite to, some of it.
That was from
Bastille. That was from 2014.
6 years now.
So,
goes you rise, them ones.
That one,
awful.
And if you
Taste moved on since then, do you reckon? Because in my head, I had him down as like someone that really liked Blue or something like that.
So
Dave.
According to a 2009 article in The Guardian,
You're going further back.
Lampard's favourite song is Stuck on You by Lionel Richie. He's the same age as me. How the hell can he like that as his favourite record? In the same interview, Joe Cole said his favourite song was Gold by Spandau Ballet. What is wrong with these lads?
Fucking hell.
Unbelievable. Footballers and music. This is why people like Pat Nevin are so sort of revered in music circles, because they actually have different taste to like footballers, MOR sort of leanings. But if that is the case, if that is his favourite record, then his favourite album could well be Can't Slow Down by Lionel Richie from 1983, which has got
certainly doesn't apply to his wingers.
Hey.
all night long, Penny Lover, Stuck on You, Running with the Night, and it finishes with Hello. It's just hit after hit, that album. Yeah, it could be that. It's not going to be anything good though.
I'm going with the.
Give us till our 5 on Saturdays. I'll be. I said, give it till our 5 on Saturdays. Favourite album would be Rumours.
Oh yeah, look at this, man. You've nailed this round. I'm telling you, absolutely nailed this one. And that's it. That's it for this week's mailbag. We've got 7 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock. So I will wrap up there. Thanks to Laura, thanks to Dave, thanks to Matt, thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We will catch you next time on Mailbag.